if you look at our history, we have a colorful history. Back then, from say 1800s up, also we have first sightings of early explorers. We also have say early traders that came around. Then we have the colonizers that came much later. So the colonizers basically came to only extract resources that they can to feed back their industries back at home. But then many of them, in the event that they lay their eyes on, say arts of aesthetic values, they took them. It was at the time when, two different territories, up until only 1965. Only 1965, that's when we had a National Cultural Preservation Act that kind of limit people taking the things out. Basically, it was after the war. It was after the war, and we had a lot of war debris all across the coastal areas of New Guinea, and people were using those debris to make houses and whatever thing they can do with it. So when the act came into place, it more or less restricts items from being taken out of the country. But prior to that, anybody that comes in and lays their hands on, or Karim Nago. We have no laws that would protect it. We were never a country. No got there. Yeah. That's why you can see a lot of things that can be found in German museums, a lot in British museums, French museums, and anywhere else around the world. It's because of the time period where Orkan Norkisim Goya. So if you look at museum too. For the museum, the earliest collections would go back to Sam McGregor's time. And he came in and he saw that our culture was deteriorating fast. So he decided to do some collections. So he collected about 10,000 of them. So he kept them, and he thought that one day the territory would become an independent state maybe, and those objects can be part of a museum. So I'm Karim Go, Lusimlo, Brisbane then. So they were in Brisbane for some time, and then until they reopened the old House of Assembly, that's when those objects were brought back and put in there for quite some time until the opening of this building in 1977. Built in 1975, it was a gift from the Australian government, the people of Australia. So 1977, when it was opened, that's when most of the collections were actually brought back to us. So apart from, say, late Sam McGregor, we had other items that are, say, given as gifts, bought by museum back then. The early, say, trustees, mostly trustees bought most of the items. And then we had some of them given as gifts, and few of them lately we got repatriated objects from US and Australia. And basically that's it. We're not actually buying any more museum objects, but especially for, say, contemporary art, definitely we are still collecting.